Hey, man, bring him around a little further, brother. I want that man to hear what I'm saying tonight.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Will. I'm the guy who sits over there. I am here today to tell you about my research. I wanted to do it in a different way, and I wanted to make my research paper about underground filming kind of different. So I'm going to try to make this an experimental film. Now, the one thing that you might be saying to yourself as you watch this looks suspiciously like a YouTube video. The one thing that we need to know is that the editing style, all that stuff comes from experimental film. Now, you may be asking yourself, what exactly is experimental film? It's a type of film that is non-narrative based. That means that unlike a traditional Hollywood film where you have a 3-act structure, a beginning, middle, end, experimental film isn't like that. There is a multitude of different styles. I personally tend to lean more towards performative art and also found footage. So you can actually see like the found footage idea in other YouTube videos and stuff like that where they use clips of SpongeBob. So let's talk about my man, Kenneth Anger. And you're asking yourself, who is Kenneth Anger? And that's a great question to ask you. Kenneth Anger grew up in California, and he was born in the 1920s. And one of the things with Kenneth Anger is he grew up in a Presbyterian family, which was really devout and structurally affected the way that Kenneth grew up. The one thing that I neglected to mention in the beginning is Kenneth is a gay man. At that time in America, in the mid-40s, early 30s, that was frowned upon. Kenneth started making films when he was 14. One of his early works is a film called Fireworks. And basically Fireworks is 3 sailors being romantically involved with each other. And at the end, spoiler alert, one of the sailors has a Roman candle in his genital area and pretends it's, his member. This led to Kenneth going on trial for indecency charges. People in charge did not like the film and thought it was obscene. Luckily, the film and Kenneth were found not guilty of all charges, which is great because jail sucks. The one piece that I did research heavily is called Custom Car Commandos. Custom Car Commandos was done in 1965 from a grant from the Ford Foundation, the car company, and was supposed to be a feature-length film revolving around the car culture of Southern California at the time. I'm going to start playing it now. So the great thing about this film is you can definitely see the homoeroticism within the work, clearly. And this was groundbreaking. To put this in perspective, this film was made in 1965. This is 4 years before the Stonewall riots. And you may be asking yourself, what's the big deal? Is a guy buffing a car to the song Dream Lover, performed by the Paris Sisters. Let me tell you something. This is a big deal because this is 20 years before MTV. This is really at the time when you had music and videos or films together. They were often live films. Kenneth Anger started the mold of what we consider now the music video. Yes, some music videos have narrative. Some experimental films are narrative. I've done them. Doesn't mean they're not weird, but I've done them. We take it for granted because we always see it. But like I said, this was groundbreaking in 1965. Here comes my least favorite topic, myself. So, like I said before in the beginning of this, I am an experimental filmmaker. I tend to use found footage films, which is a legitimate art form. I'm just saying that right now before you're like, oh, what's this? This is weird. What found footage films are is you take found footage and you change the meaning and the context of them. Case in point, the film that I am about to show clips of, Pop, which is my piece, uses film from the TV show The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. It was like one of the first sitcoms ever. That, I will say, the context of Ozzie and Harriet that I took was the relationship of Ozzie, the father, and his son Ricky. Like most sitcoms, there's typically a good father-son relationship in the family. So I took this good, innocent, heartwarming footage and contrast it with my own life, where I had an abusive father. Don't worry, it's fine. Everything works out. And we did not get along whatsoever. And I used that to kind of counteract what was said and what was done, compared to like the videos of, this father and son getting along together. Also helping that I edited the footage heavily so that when you look at it, there are waves of purple and white. Instead of being black and white like most TV was back then, I edited it so the grays that come in with that are purple and various shades of purple, to kind of give it a surreal feeling and emotion to it. The other thing you may notice while watching this is that the eyes of the child, or children in some cases, are barred out. And I did that to signify the innocence that I didn't want to corrupt in the children. So, I'm going to let this play for a bit so you kind of get what I'm talking about. Weird, right? Like I said, it's kind of weird. But this is kind of who I am as an artist. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully it wasn't too weird for you. Thanks.